Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Talk Wrestling here on the Jeff Meacham Network, even though it doesn't say Jeff Meacham Network except on the big banner behind me that's half folded because I don't have the damn logo up. I almost pulled that off perfectly. Oh, well. Welcome to Talk Wrestling. I'll come to the TW logo up there. Screw it. Happy Monday, everybody. Glad you're all here. Glad everybody's here. I see a ton of people in the chat room already. There's questions coming in. There's comments coming in. It is madness. It is chaos. And I will definitely get to you guys momentarily. However, I do want to introduce a new feature on Talk Wrestling. We're going to do this every single Monday here on the show because, quite frankly, the other shows I do during the course of the week are just so batshit crazy and busy. I don't have time to do this. So I want to recognize the things that happened on this day in history, as well as people celebrating their birthday today. So bear with me, if you will. The first item in history that goes back in the world of wrestling goes back to 1996, which it flabbergasted me that 1996 was almost 25 years ago, but it was. And we had this little ditty happen. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hollywood Hogan becomes the world champion, and he spray paints the big gold belt, the world famous big gold belt in infamy forever with the NWO letters. And to this day, there is still paint on the original big gold belt from one of the many spray paint jobs the New World Order did to that prestigious title belt. And I hope one day that I get out to a StarCast and meet up with Conrad and get a hold of that belt in person, because my goodness, there's so much history with it. 2 years later on this day, on a Nitro and a Raw, there were Nitro and Raw that night because it was a Monday, obviously, much like today, Chris Jericho in his own bravado way becomes the world television champion by beating the surrogate champion, if you will, Stevie Ray. Booker T, of course, was injured, and Stevie Ray took the reins of his own volition. Later that night, Lex Luger becomes the U.S. champion as a member of the NWO Wolfpack. So NWO was big on this day in history. Of course, Hog Wild 96 was a huge day for the fledgling NWO. Meanwhile, over on the USA Network, on the Warzone, Kane and Mankind became the WWF Tag Team Champions for the second time, thanks to what Stone Cold Steve Austin felt was a kind of a laydown by the Dead Man when he and Steve dropped the titles to the Big Red Machine and the Deranged Ones. So we were on the highway to hell here, and it was awesome stuff, great stuff. 4 years later, the WWE went to Australia for the first time in a very long time, maybe if ever, honestly, and they ended up doing a Global Warning pay-per-view down under, and that was on this day in 2002. The following year at a Raw house show, Christian became the Intercontinental Champion. He beat Booker T. I guess what happened was Booker was injured, and they had to do a hasty title switch, so Christian walked out of that house show as the new Intercontinental Champion. Crazy. But, and of course, he showed up to Raw later that week with a much different haircut. The haircut he has to this day, the shorter hair. Not what you see here, obviously. 5 years later, the last thing on the list history-wise, 2008, Hard Justice. Beer Money. Of course, that's Cowboy James Storm and Bobby, Robert, whatever you want to call him, Rude, become the TNA World Tag Team Champions for the very first time. Of course, they are one of the greatest tag teams in TNA/Impact history. So there's what happened on this day in history. Now, as far as birthdays, there are quite a few, sir. Here we go. Fred Ottman, of course, Tugboat Typhoon, and yes, the Shockmaster. Let us not forget the Shockmaster. I just chose not to use a picture of it because poor Uncle Fred. He's 64 today. It's crazy that he's the same age as my dad. It boggles my mind that the first wrestler we had an interaction with, way back when at the sports arena back in 1991, is the same age as my father. It blows me away. The man we knew best in WWF as Savio Vega turns 56 today. Congo Khan, late of, I believe, Impact Wrestling, where he was most recently. He is 41, which I can't believe he's in his 40s. That's crazy. Speaking of 40s, Stu Bennett, Bad News Barrett, Wade Barrett turns 40 today. And a longtime friend of the wrestling side of Jeff Meacham and former collaborator in Wild Wrestling, Lizzie Valentine, turns none of your damn business today. That's right. And lest we forget, Lest we forget, I see you in the chat room. I already had it queued up, brother. You're not giving me enough credit. The Cleaver, Colin Andrew, complete with Fire Virtue shirt, is 32 years old today. That's how awesome this day is. The Cleaver, Colin Andrew, was born on this day. So there you go. Just an amazing day in the world of professional wrestling. Unfortunately, we have a little bit of a sad thing today. We found out overnight and honestly this morning that Kamala, James Harris, the former WWE superstar, legend, really, passed away either last night or early this morning. I forget when the report came in. But yeah, apparently he was getting regular diabetes checkups and ended up contracting the COVID. So there you go. Again, wear your fucking masks, folks. Simple as that. It really is. Because you never know what you're going to encounter, who you're going to encounter in the course of the day. So wear your masks. Do your damn thing. Do right by the people around you. Don't get people sick, you assholes. Because shit like this happens. So, okay. Now that we're done with that nonsense, let's see what we got here in the chat room. Been a fan of yours so long. Well, thank you. I appreciate the support from the Facebook side of things. I know I'm kind of new on the work side of the Facebook, so I appreciate you being there. Mr. UKK, I do see your comments. I saw your tweet also, so your question is coming. I promise. Saudi Arabia is checking in. My man Jeff, how are you doing? I am doing great. I'm feeling wonderful. It's my first Monday home in a long time, so all is well. Dylan starts junior high tomorrow, which fucking floors me. Michael Gonzalez is here, and Christian Ramirez is here, and Shane Pinson is here, and I don't see who this is, but you're here. I appreciate you, Mr. Facebook user. Let's see. Christian held the world title more times. Fuck's sake. Yes, he should have. He was very deserving to be the world champion in WWE more than he was. I wholeheartedly agree. Although he had a pretty good run 2011. It was pretty cool. Apparently, Colin was fortunate enough to see him at the Old Richfield Coliseum. I don't know if I don't think I ever saw Kamala because I had a break in my attendance between late 1991 and early 1994, summer 94. And I think Kamala was in between those two times during his second run as in the WWF. So I missed him, but I loved the character. I thought it went over like gangbusters. I liked the thing was slick. I was kind of hokey, some people thought, but I loved it. All right, on to your questions. Mr. Yuck has a two-parter, and again, if I'm saying your screen name wrong, please correct me. Barring the reveal of this new Retribution faction members, which superstars might we see WWE send out to fend, feud, and or stand up and defend the company? Who do you think will end up being a part of the Retribution faction? Which superstars will likely end up being ones sent out to stand up and defend WWE? Okay, we basically said the same thing twice, but just fine. I highly encourage you, Mr. Yuck, to go over to the YouTube page of NoDQ.com, which you can link right here through NoDQ.com. The NoDQ review, I believe, went deep, like balls deep into the waters on this thing. I may have even been a part of that panel. It was a week ago, so I don't remember, to be honest with you. But we went all in on the Retribution stable and who is involved, who may be involved, all that happy jazz. So I highly encourage you to check that out because we went knee deep. It's easy to say Ali. It's easy to say guys, the Undisputed Era, but I honestly don't know. I look forward to it, so we'll have to see what develops. Shane Pinson with a question: who is the most underrated wrestler in the WWE, in Impact, in Ring of Honor, in AEW, and in MLW? Okay, I hate to be I'm afraid I've got some bad news in honor of the birthday boy. I have never seen a full episode of MLW television, and that's my bad. I have many people recommending it. I haven't seen it. Oopsie. So I don't know. Ring of Honor have not seen in a minute. So time will tell when I get back into it. AEW wise, the most underrated guy on the AEW roster, I feel, is Frankie Kazarian. I know he's been around for a long, long time. I know he's a seasoned vet, but he's not getting near the space time or the air time that Daniels did or Sky is getting now. Just my opinion. I love Sky. He's one of my favorite people on this planet, period, not just wrestling. But I think Frankie is also overlooked. Impact, God. There's a lot of people that are getting their due in Impact now that should have a long time ago. So take your pick of that roster. WWE, underrated. I would have to say the guys we're seeing get that rub now. Ali and Shorty G. And, people shit on Baron Corbin. I love Baron Corbin. I think it's a tremendous character, and people underrate him because they hate him so much character-wise. So there's my stance on that. Do you think Raw will be boring? We'll find out in about 45 minutes. I don't think so. I think it'll be interesting. Boring is a relative term, I feel. Will it be a good show? Possibly. Will it be a boring show? Highly unlikely. Favorite Kamala moment. My favorite Kamala moment is honestly the entire feud of The Undertaker in 1992. I thought that was so well done. I know I was late to the Kamala game because I was late to the wrestling game in the time that he was the big star. So I missed a lot of that. So that's my favorite Kamala moment. The entire feud of The Undertaker, especially the Survivor Series and SummerSlam matches. I know they were kind of a train wreck, but it is what it is. Let's see. Will they bring back bra and panties matches? No. Okay, I'm going to nip that in the bud right now because these damn comments are upsetting me every time I get stupid shit like that. All right. I'm surprised they haven't done a comedy spoof of Samoa Joe and the Ninjas yet, since Joe had a history with Ninjas. TNA, yeah. TNA Soldiers for Life, right, Michael? It's silly, right? It's haha. The what do you call it? I can't even freaking think. My brain's so blue there right now. We might see something with. I think they're really trying to hold off on using Joe until they until he's 100% ready to go. Because that's just the best way to do it. Because if you use him any other way, then you're asking for trouble. So, but it would be different for sure to use him in that capacity. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea, but it would be different if they use him with the Ninjas. Let's see. Christian Ramirez, do you see another NFL retired player coming into WWE like Pat McAfee did? Maybe Antonio Brown. Well, I'll never say that. Antonio Brown, okay. I don't know squat about football. I know zero about football in its current state, right? I am not a huge over-the-top diehard, I watch every game on Sunday guy, but I don't know if Antonio Brown to know. That would be a huge mistake if WWE were to bring him in, because he's got so much bad press right now. And what they don't need right now is bad press or any sort of negativity attached to them other than this nonsense with Pat McAfee. People either love or hate Pat. I'm not a fan of Pat personally. Never liked the guy, but I'm interested. What happens at TakeOver 30, and you can watch that with me live right here on the Jeff Meacham Network. Doing a live watch along on the 22nd of August. So keep that in mind as we go along here. I'll be plugging that later. You saw the commercial for it earlier. So there you go. Big Baller G is here. With Big Baller G's arrival into the chat, I have my special message. I was waiting for my best friend, but she's not here. I don't know why, but she's not. So over the course of the last week, my dear friend Bailey, who all of you know, Bales, my best friend, the Henderson Hottie, if you will. I should have worn that shirt today. That's okay. I wanted to wear this because of Hog Wild's anniversary. bought me this. And I don't know if you guys can see what that is or not. It's the first movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This was one of two movies I had been missing in my Harry Potter collection of movies. I had the rest. I had all the books except for that book. I don't have the book. I have the eight novels, although eight's kind of a script book. But anyway, but I've never seen either Fantastic Beasts movie. I now have that one on DVD Blu-ray, and thanks to my boy Big G here, I've got The Crimes of Grindelwald. So the binge will be in effect come November, maybe even earlier than that, because I love me some Harry Potter, and I ain't watched those in a minute. So there you go. Ricky Lawson's here. Mr. Yuck's here also with a question about Big G's favorite, Shayna Baszler. Will Shayna Baszler as a babyface go anywhere positive? Nope. She is a badass. She needs to be a badass. She needs to be a killer. She needs to be nothing more than a complete machine just running through people en route to a title. And they're using it very incorrectly. So there you go. Shane Pinson recommends we check out some of the Jerry Lawler versus Kamala stuff on YouTube. I agree. Again, underrated. Kamala was. Pac-Man Jones was very bad. But you know what? It was kind of he couldn't do anything. We don't know if he was bad. So could he have been something? Maybe. Speaking of Christian, what was the point of bringing him back? They should have rekindled the rivalry with Orton for one more match and one more rivalry. What do you think? I'm pretty sure Christian was on the no contact list as far as the do not touch list. That is oh so famous. So that was kind of a means to an end to get him another legend to kill. There you go. My wife's and my first date was a release party for the Cursed Chapter. Wow, there you go. That's pretty cool. Let's see. The first time I met, the only time I've actually met, encountered, shook hands, picture brother Hulk Hogan, was at a bookstore. And they had just released, what's the hell is the name of the fourth Twilight book? Breaking Dawn, I think. I bought the entire set for my son's mother for Christmas. So there you go. Now, I found out this user is commenting in the Jeff Beacham Network public group. I don't know why these comment names don't show up, Cody Joe, but that's why. Because you're in the group chat, so you're in the group page. So that's why, Cody Joe Perry, your name is not showing up. But he wants to know, will Shamrock ever come back to the WWE? I highly doubt it. He has no desire to. So. Better King gimmick for Michael Gonzalez. King Booker or the Macho King? Gotta go with the Macho King, man. The Macho King was amazing. When I first started watching the WWF, the Macho King was arguably the top heel. I mean, you could say DiBiase, you could say Sergeant Slaughter, but my dad immediately latched on to the Macho King and the Macho Man. Randy was my dad's favorite until The Undertaker started really picking up steam about, I want to say when he first came back in 2004, maybe. Then my dad went, yeah, he's my guy. So, but for the longest time, it was Randy. So, Kamala for Hall of Fame. I agree, Adam, absolutely. Your pick for the NXT North American title tournament or most likely winner of it. I would have gone with Dexter Lumis had he not gotten hurt. So, I'm lost. My heart wants to say Punishment, Damian Priest. Love that guy. Underrated. You talk about underrated in WWE? Damian Priest. Holy shit. Guy's got so much freaking potential. It's ridiculous. Give that guy a title like yesterday. Colin says, I've never read nor watched Harry Potter. Hey, you know what? To each his own. I have a affinity for Harry Potter, Colin, because when I came into when I first started going to high school. Actually, but I started my senior year of high school, I should say, because when I was really in trouble school wise, as far as my grades were shit, and it was just a bad time for most of my high school tenure. I ended up what do you call it? Having bad English grades and reading skills and whatever. So my senior year, I went what you would probably call now a remedial class, right? Which is funny to think about now. But the science fiction class I took, the English class I took in senior year, the fall of my senior year, the teacher read us Harry Potter each day. So that's how I discovered the books. I got into reading the rest of them. I fell in love, saw all the movies as they came out, got the books the days they came out, and I fell back in love with reading. So that's why I love Harry Potter so much, because it rekindled my love for reading. Big G, I'm gonna get to that at the end, because that's a thinker, right? So there you go. Ricky Lawson says Kyle Riley for North American Championship. Oh yeah, no question. I would love to see either him or Fish or even Roddy be the North American champion. That'd be great. Do you think Regal was being pushed to the world championship after he won the King of the Ring? Yes, he was, and he ended up getting in trouble, I think is what happened. So there you go. That's why. What were some important moments of Kamala's career? Wasn't he a heel his entire run? He was not a heel his entire run. There was a time, I think it was in early 93, that the Reverend Slick emancipated Kamala, if you will, from Harvey Whippleman and Kim Shee, and he ended up becoming babyface for a brief while. I said hello earlier. My test was false positive because I went to a shitty clinic. It's as simple as that. A terrible clinic that doesn't know the hell they're doing. I can't disrecommend them enough, or unrecommend, or whatever that word is. Is Gordon Sully in the Hall of Fame? And if so, do you think after Gordon Sully actually went in the year I went in 2008 with my dad? My dad and I went to the 2008 Hall of Fame. Flair and Mae Young and the Rocks family and the Briscoes and Gordon Sully. Gordon got inducted by JR, and his children accepted the honor for him. Gordon definitely deserves it. Without Gordon Sully, there'd been no Jim Ross, so there's that. Do I think Bill Apter will get inducted? No. And the reason I say no is because they will not, if they choose to recognize Bill Apter for his journalistic work, then they have to recognize Dave Meltzer. And I hate saying that, but it's the truth. So without Bill Apter, there's no Dave Meltzer. So if you recognize Bill, you got to acknowledge Dave's existence, which is shitty, but it is what it is. Who do you think is going to be the mystery person in the triple threat qualifying NXT match this week? That's a good question, Colin. There are so many people it could be. I honestly would love it if it was somebody represented by Robert Stone, because I think he needs to branch out. He's got Mercedes, which is wonderful. He's got Aaliyah, which, you know, she's an up and comer, if you will, but he needs a solid male wrestler to represent and really get that stable cooking with gas, I feel. And I think that if it's somebody with Robert Stone, it'd be awesome sauce. Cody says, would Brock Lesnar beat Brock Lesnar in a real? Would Bobby Lashley beat Brock Lesnar in a real fight? I don't know. I don't know how great they are individually as regular fighters. So, I don't know. Are you a fan of slasher horror movies? I am a fan of the Halloween movies and the Child's Play movies mostly. I can appreciate the Friday the 13th movies, and I can appreciate the Nightmare on Elm Street movies because of their classics, their status and history. I do own the entire series of Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, except for the new one, which I think I have on Amazon Prime, and the entire Halloween series. But I also have access to the Friday the 13th, and that will be a September-October binge. There you go. Do you think Shayna wins the Battle Royal to become the contender for Bayley's title? If she's on Raw, probably not. But, anything can happen in WWE, right? Let's see. Do you think Halloween 3 Seasons of the Witch is underrated? I enjoyed it despite no Michael. We've talked about this on several of my shows. I forgot the question because I was leading somebody's stupid ass comment. If Season of the Witch was called anything but Halloween 3 next to it, it's a great horror flick. It's scary. It's gross. It's got graphic stuff. It's an amazing thrill ride. But it's not a Michael Myers movie. So it's not a Halloween movie. The Halloween series. It's not that. So, no, I don't. It's very underrated. It's crapped on unnecessarily. So, there you go. I wish WWE would make another doc series on Breaking Ground. They are having trouble there right now because they can't get people in the BC. But they probably will eventually. Okay. Somebody ding me. Who's dinging me? I'm on right now. I already gave my message, LOL, period. Go ahead and come on. I'm actually talking to you on the air right now, so you can go ahead and leave your message, and I'll put it up. Okay, disregard. Just come on the show, LOL. Stupid talk to text. Anyway, I'm going to address this, right? And then I'm going to delete this person from existence because that's not very nice. Who has a bigger ego, Stone Cold, CM Punk, or me? I don't find that very funny, personally. I think that's rather rude. And if I can find a way, let's see if I can. Yep, you're going to be done on my Facebook. Thank you very much. I don't appreciate being talked to like that when I don't deserve it. So, okay. Orton to win clean versus Drew. Oh, yeah. I think it'll be a hell of a match. Let me be clear on that. But it'll be a knockdown drag out type affair, right? And then it'll be one of those things where Orton will win clean. If Orton doesn't win clean and does win the title, it's a bad look. It's a very bad look. So there you go. Okay, Battle Royale triple branded. So sure, why not? Go ahead and let Shayna win. Christian, I mentioned the Retribution storyline at the very, very top of the show. It could very well be a part of that hacker thing we saw earlier in the year. So I highly encourage you again to, let me throw it up there one more time because that's what I do. NoDQ.com for the latest as far as the storyline and the NoDQ review, because we went pretty deep on that topic on, I think it was Tuesday's show. So there you go. All right, we're going to take a quick break here while we have a moment here. Let's see what I want to run here. Let's do the commercial we didn't air at the top of the show. All right, enjoy. All right, there you go. Check out everybody at No DQ after match and the Great Cherry brand. My home's away from home, which is here, obviously. Ricky Lawson says, if Tessa Blanchard does sign with WWE, would you send her to the NXT or main roster? I said this a few times over the course of this year. I will reiterate the point now. It is a bad idea for WWE to sign Tessa Blanchard at this point in time. Not that she's a bad wrestler. She's one of the best female wrestlers we've ever seen. She is one of the few that can pull off the intergender stuff, but she's got a bad stigma. She's got a bad label on herself right now because of not showing up or no showing or, bailing on the company or whatever. So again, bad idea, just bad idea. It says Tess. If the heat dies down, maybe. If she's able to get out of Mexico and the COVID lifts, possibly, but not right now. Bob Gonzalez wants to know my thoughts on the Marty Jannetty situation. Or is it too soon to talk about since all the details? It's way too soon. We have no idea what the hell is going on with Marty Jannetty. It's all hearsay and speculation right now. There's a reason that the post got deleted, only to be screenshotted. He deleted it because he didn't want it out there. So either he was way off the freaking wagon when he posted it, or there's more to it. We just don't know. And there's no point in speculating at this point, right? Of other matches that never happened, what of Owen Hart versus Chris Benoit or HBK versus Brian Pillman? Yeah, it's a shame that we didn't see those two matchups with those guys in their prime. It would have been awesome to see those guys really tear it up for sure. It would have been cool. It would have been really nice to see something like that. So there you go. Can you imagine the amount of blocks that wouldn't do if people would stop trolling? Imagine that. Did you think they may pair up Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, or did we not see a face turn? Okay. Sheamus won't turn face based on this feud. It was designed to give Jeff Hardy a redemption type thing and to give Sheamus something to do. So hopefully they both got a positive rub from it, and hopefully they will come out smelling like roses. They both looked good last week on SmackDown, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Yeah. So, okay, I don't know if she's watching because she hasn't left her comment, but I want to thank, again, my buddy Bailey and Big G for their contributions to my my Harry Potter binging. Bailey got me this, and Big G sent me the link to Crimes of Grindelwald. So thank you both very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. The friendships I have right now are so meaningful to me. You guys honestly have no idea how much the friendships I do have impact my life right now. It's crazy. So there you go. You think JM puts? I do put up. Okay, so guess what? I'm gonna just be done with your ass because I don't want to deal with it anymore. You think Orton would win the title and keep it all the way to WrestleMania? Nope. There's no way in the opinion of the Jeff Meacham Network that Randy Orton becomes champion at SummerSlam and holds it all the way to WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind it happening, but I doubt it very, very much. So there you go. Let's see what we got here. I want to do some plugs. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw some because I'm really looking forward to what is to come here in the next few in the days and weeks and months, next few weeks, next few months. So let me just throw it out there now while I wait for more comments to come in. And if I get the comments in, I'll go ahead and throw them up there. Let's see what we got here. Who's a dinging? There's a dinging. There we go. Very good. All right. So this Wednesday, time and availability of Mr. Cherry permitting, okay, well, let's do that here. Will we see Brock versus Lashley Underground at some point? It would not. I'd be very surprised if they used Brock Lesnar on Underground. I really, really would. They'd only do it if they actually felt that it would get a huge ratings ping or a huge holy shit moment from the fans. But I don't see it happening personally. So Wednesday on Wrestling Rewind, if Greg is available to get it taped, if we get it done, hopefully Wednesday around midday, maybe a little bit later my time, we're watching Heatwave 99. Yes, that Heatwave with the infamous Dudley Boys Near Riot promo. I've not watched this show in its entirety in a very long time, maybe if ever. So I'm looking forward to it. We are going to, as this show is going to be, we're going to be recording it live and posting it later. I mean, this show's live right now. Hi, guys. But Rewind is going to be live to tape or live to record to tape, whatever the hell they call that now. I'm going to put that out probably about 1 or 2 o'clock Pacific time, just before, so that it'll end just before NXT and Dynamite. And that's how we're going to do this show. We're going to have the live feed right now, and then it's going to go into on demand and go into audio format as well. That way you guys get it across all the formats of the Jeff Mitchum Network. Should AEW not allow Jericho to compete on Dynamite for 2 weeks because of his Fozzy concert? I don't know what I think Jericho and AEW have the understanding as far as the Fozzy stuff. I know he went on tour or had the shows, so it may have been a COVID thing you're talking about. But as long as he tests positive, negative rather, I don't see a problem with it. The greatest tag team I ever watched was probably, God, there's been the New Age Outlaws. I mean, really, they were an amazing tag team. They kicked serious ass. Danny Moto says, if Orton wins the title at SummerSlam, when do you see him dropping it? Maybe Rumble, maybe sooner. I think they just want to kind of give Orton that 14 number, like Hunter has, kind of, get him up there in Hunterland, would be my guess. Did you see the picture of Tyson? This is Ricky Lawson. Did you see the picture of Tyson Kidd training in the ring? Do you see him to come back like Edge? And I saw the scar and I saw the surgery on him. I hope that he is 100% cleared, ready to go, able to compete, because he said himself that kind of injury is like a 5% survival rate. So God bless. I hope TJ knows what he's doing. And I assume he does, because he's been in the business his entire life. So there you go. So Wednesday is Heatwave 99 on Rewind. Friday, the dads are back. Oh, yes. The dads on wrestling. Not always on wrestling. We have our top 10 summer songs coming up this week. Again, dads is exclusive to the YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this is where you're going to be for dads going forward. We are strictly video, just kind of keeping things separate, keeping things in perspective, if you will. But so there you go. That's coming up on Friday. It looks like Ken is here. Hello, Ken. Hello. What up, everyone? Hello, Ken. Shout out to TJ. Very good hand. Hope to see him back. Gonzalez, my dog. There you go. So Ken, terminated by DQ, is here. Thank God for Ken's presence and everything. Then next week on Rewind, which will be the 19th of August on Wednesday, 2 days after next week's Talk Wrestling, of course, we do your choice. That's right. You people did this to us. It's all your fault. You on Twitter. You voted for SummerSlam 1995 as the SummerSlam Viewers' Choice show. So that's what you're getting. Again, Greg was there. It's a one-match show. It is what it is. But it'll be a fun train wreck, right? Those are always fun. So there you go. And then coming up that weekend, no, actually, I'm not controversial at all, Ken. I am very much just go with the flow. But I don't tolerate trolls on my personal space. So if you want to troll, Aaron is that way. There you go. Aaron with no DQ on YouTube. That's the place to troll. Very good. Shane Pinson wants to know my favorite wrestling podcast. Honestly, the stuff that Conrad does is really amazing. Conrad, and I am a subscriber to adfreeshows.com. I get my shows early. I haven't listened to them early yet, but I do get them early and ad free, of course. I'm currently in early July on my Conrad binge, so I'm hoping to catch up by the end of the week. It was on my to-do list for the week. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Love Conrad. My favorite Conrad podcast, though, is probably 83 Weeks and Arn. I love both those shows so much. So good. Let's see. Did you like Punk versus Cena from SummerSlam 2011 and the Kevin Nash angle? Right before I told you his quad. Okay, so Kevin didn't tear his quad in 2011. Kevin tore something. I forget what it was. He hurt himself again. But the angle when he tore his quad was the NWO's final big hurrah on the main stage as the NWO. I did appreciate them being there. I wish they would have stuck around longer. As far as the Punk Cena stuff at SummerSlam, I was there. I saw Kevin's interference, and I was astonished. And I was taken by surprise, which is the whole freaking point, right? So I enjoyed that stuff thoroughly. Did you rate Andrew Tess Martin in the ring? I thought Tess had a lot of potential, and I felt that he could have done a lot of cool things. It's just they didn't want to keep him around. I don't know why. I mean, I know he had demons, I guess, but I always liked Tess. I think he just got a bad break. So, all right, there's Bales. There we go. That's staying up there from the rest of the show. You guys don't get your comments on the show no more. Thank you, Bailey. Mwah. Love you, girl. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. What's next with Otis and the Money in the Bank? I just can't see him cash in successfully. He may be the main, the next guy to botch the cash in. Just got a feeling. I can't see him as world champion either. So Conrad got his connections through Ric Flair. And again, he started doing a podcast with Rick way back when, and then it kind of evolved into Bruce, and then it evolved into Tony, and then it evolved into the ones you hear today, 5 days a week. So do I think the element of social media has taken the surprise out of wrestling? Yes. My God, yes. I try so hard to avoid the spoiling. I can't stand when my shows get spoiled. It bugs the living balls out of me. It drives me crazy. G, I did read your comment, but I will read it again if I can find it. Hang on. Settle down. Where'd it go? He said, no problem, brother. I hope the first meetup we have for No DQ is my wedding. No DQ is my fan for life. We're going to conga line to... We're going to conga line to Jose. Well, please, nobody film that. You don't need to see the fat white guy dancing. That'll scare small children. Ken says, I remember you criticizing Sid and Luger. That's why I mistakenly said you hated them. Who's the performer you really have never been a fan of? Mine might be Abdullah. Goldberg and the Warrior. I never liked either one of them. I never, ever, 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 ever liked the Warrior or Goldberg. Ever. Just never got into either one of them. Just got all the trolls, and I will take care of it momentarily. If Otis loses, does that kill the credibility of the briefcase? No, it just shows that they were trying to what do you call it? Give everybody hope that we would actually see something that we weren't expecting to see. Which did any of us expect to see? The big guy win the briefcase? I didn't. That's for darn sure. So, So then let's see what else we got here. I think the storyline with Truth and Miz attacking the competitors in the Hell in the Cell match and being fired was good. It had more potential before they jobbed out to Rock and Cena. Again, it was kind of hokey to have them fired and then rehired only to lose. It's kind of silly, right? Kind of silly. But that's how we do it. So that's how things are on WWE. Gotta go a little bit of silly. Shane wants to know my thoughts on the Arn versus Sid issue in Europe. That's not my. That's really not my thing to touch. That was, God, 27 years ago. And from what Arn has said on his own podcast, him and Sid squashed their shit. So if you can squash heat with a guy who stabbed you, I have no comment. What do you want me to say? Let's see. Is Rick Martel Hall of Fame worthy? Yes. Rick Martel was one of the guys. That when I first started watching, I hated so much because he attacked Jake the Snake and he blinded the guy, and then he stole Tatanka's sacred feather, and he was just a royal dick. And I loved Martel as a heel. Kind of didn't buy the whole babyface thing, and then he got hurt. So people honestly crap on Rick toward the end because he didn't do very well for himself after he left the WWF, but I love Martel. He definitely deserves a spot. I don't know if he was part of that class action suit. I don't think he was. So I don't see why they can't put him in. No, there you go. Dwayne Atkinson says, if Rock and Roman do have a match, what will be better, the build-up or the match? If they actually are to pull that trigger, I feel that the build will be better. I appreciate Rock's skills. I appreciate Roman's skills. A lot of you don't. I do. But I think the match will not live up to the hype that WWE will undoubtedly put behind it. I mean, that's a given. So there you go. All right. Let's see what we got here. I wish Strike Force got inducted together. Santana deserves it, but Martel should have went in there with him or by himself. Tito definitely deserved it by himself, but I think Martel does too, and I think Martel and Tito should, if they're going to induct every tag team, which apparently they are, Strike Force deserves it. They were the team that upset the Hart Foundation, which nobody ever thought would happen. So I don't see, why not? Martel definitely deserves it. There's no Santana is in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying Santana went in by himself. What I was saying, and Ken is saying that Martel should have gone in with him or separately in addition to him, or either or. So I agree with both. Yeah, Reigns is a good worker, but he's not a draw. So he would need Dwayne to be box office, and Dwayne's not going to risk his Hollywood movie. He's making serious freaking bank right now, so I don't see him risking his Hollywood career to do a money match, at least not yet. No, Sherry Martel, and Sherry's name is not actually Martel. I don't think. I think her name was something else, but no, Sherry and Rick were not related. So there you go. All right, I'm going to run the commercials one more time, and then we're going to take our last, say our goodbyes and whatnot. So stand by, everybody. Can I? I can't. I'm just gonna leave her up there. The hell with it. Whatever. I don't care. I'm just gonna leave because I love having her face up there, so it works out for me. All right, here we go. And we're back. So there we go. All right, one more. JM, why do you think Dwayne is in the WWE Hall of Fame? I think Vince and Rock always. Dwayne is not ready yet. He may still come back, and I think he wants to be the headliner, and maybe he'll get in there next year or the year after. So it's just a matter of time. So it's a break from promotions, Ken, and we're back. So there you go. So before I go, because I got to do my plugs, please make sure you check out NoDQ.com after Raw tonight. You can check out Aaron's live review recap of Monday Night Raw, which will be over on Aaron Riff NoDQ on YouTube. He will give you his full thoughts on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, which starts in about 9 minutes. Keep that in mind on the USA Network. And that's really it. I plugged everything else today that I wanted to plug. So don't forget to get out there and buy your shirts from the Greg Cherry brand over at teespring.com/store/Greg Cherry brand. My shirts at teespring.com/store/Jeff-Meacham-Network. You guys, I thank you so much. Again, of course, anchor.fm/Jeff Meacham Network for the audio portion of things. So that's where the plugs be. So thank you all so very much. I really appreciate everybody being here. And we will see you Wednesday for Heat Wave 1999. God help us on Wrestling Rewind right here on the Jeff Meacham Network.